Hello, I'm Ruth, an art history alumna from the University of Birmingham, and I've had the privilege of working here with the collections team, cataloguing artist Dinah Prentice's extensive collection. Today, I'll be talking about her artwork, Miniatures Pineapple Brown, a delicate, small-scale quilt created in 1976 and framed as a work of fine art. The textile is based on the traditional North American log cabin quilt design, where each block symbolises the hearth, the warm, welcoming centre of the home. Prentice's version uses the pineapple variation of this pattern, which gives the work its distinctive name and intricate geometric pattern. Each individual log cabin block measures just under 2 inches across, a significant reduction from the traditional quilt blocks, which typically span around 10 inches when produced for bed coverings. Prentice's meticulous precision highlights her impressive technical skill. She uses earth colours with a brown fabric for the outer layer going lighter into the centre of each square with inflections of blue. Experiencing Prentice's small-scale quilts invites the viewer to slow down and observe minute details. The intimacy of scale draws you in, reminding us that great artistry can exist in the smallest of spaces. Standing before this work, I felt immediately connected to both Prentice's artistic vision and the generations of women in my family who had laboured over textiles with care, creativity, and love. When I was 12 years old, I stood in my nanny's lounge, pushing back the furniture to lay out each section of the quilt she was making. One of her preferred styles was also log cabin. The act of arranging the squares, aligning the colours, and building a larger design from countless small elements feels like a ritual, both meditative and alive with possibility. That hands-on process of patience, problem-solving, and attention to subtle colour shifts made the final quilt feel like a tangible record of care, time, and memory. Quilting has long been a form of multi-generational feminine labour, blending practicality and artistry. Women have produced quilts not only as functional objects, but also as aesthetic expressions of skill and creativity. Prentice's work resonates with this history, honouring the technical rigour and visual beauty inherent in textile craft. By framing her quilts, Prentice elevates them to the status of fine art, challenging the traditional hierarchies that often prioritise painting and sculpture over domestic crafts. Her work highlights the cultural and artistic significance of practices historically associated with women's labour, insisting that beauty, skill, and ingenuity are not diminished by their domestic origins. Prentice's work plays with scale to shape how we respond. The small, intricate Miniatures Pineapple Brown invites close, careful looking, while her much larger textile, Billowing Maenads, unfolds on a grand scale, evoking a sense of movement and awe. Billowing Maenads offers a contemporary interpretation of the Maenads, the female followers of Dionysus, the Greek god of wine, theatre, and ecstatic ritual. Prentice's fascination with classical mythology runs throughout her practice. Having travelled to Greece several times, she drew inspiration from its landscapes, art, and ancient stories, often transforming her own photographs into collages and textile designs. In Billowing Maenads, these mythic figures are reimagined on a grand scale. The large, unmounted textile hangs freely, allowing the fabric to move and shift with the air. This billowing quality brings the work to life, evoking the energy and freedom long associated with Dionysian celebration. Just as I once pushed back the furniture in my nanny's lounge, my colleagues and I shifted the office around to make space to measure this large work. The way textiles can elicit memories and emotion, even from the act of unfurling it, is magical. For me, Miniatures Pineapple Brown exemplifies how personal memory, tradition, and artistic innovation can converge in a single work. Through Prentice's art, the labour and love embedded in textile practices are recognised and celebrated.